Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Sometimes we got to get a little uncomfortable to really learn something.
Yeah, I like that. Getting uncomfortable.
Right. So today, we're diving into Lincoln Haverford's book, Winning Mindset. Have you
Okay.
heard of this one?
I have. I have. It's a good one.
So there's this chapter on pragmatism that's just been rattling around in my brain.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's not the typical self-help, feel-good stuff. It's kind of intense, and I think that's why it's stuck with me. It's making me think.
Yeah, it's definitely thought-provoking.
For sure. So let's unpack it together. And hey, if you want to explore the book yourself, you can find a link in the video description below.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
Okay, so Haverford, he doesn't mess around. He dives right into the realities of, well, succeeding, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And he uses some pretty strong language. He talks about being, like, fiercely committed.
Right. Fiercely committed and relentless efficiency.
Yeah, relentless efficiency. I mean, that doesn't exactly scream take a break, does it?
No, not really. It's about constantly pushing forward, adapting, and really honing in on what works.
So, like, you're launching a new product.
Right.
And you're not just sitting back hoping for the best. You're analyzing everything, figuring out what's working, what's not, and just constantly adapting to stay ahead of the game.
Exactly. And I think that's a key point, that drive to constantly learn and evolve. That's crucial in any field, really.
Yeah, I mean, you can have the best product in the world, but if you're not out there hustling, making those connections, constantly refining your approach, you're going to get left behind.
Absolutely. And that's where this idea of pragmatism really comes in.
Right, because he doesn't define it like, the dictionary definition.
No, it's more about focusing on what actually gets results, even if it means challenging, those conventional ideas of what's right and wrong.
Okay, so that's where it gets kind of tricky for me. Because where do you draw the line? Is it okay to prioritize results, even if it means bending the rules a little?
Well, he talks about these unconventional business leaders he's observed, and they're not afraid to make tough decisions.
So give me an example. Like, what are we talking about here?
They're incredibly quick at sizing people up, not in a judgmental way, but just assessing their potential value. What skills do they bring? What resources? What connections?
And they're not afraid to cut people loose if they don't see that value.
Yeah, it can seem harsh, but in a way, it's also about being honest and direct.
I mean, nobody likes getting cut, but I guess sometimes that directness can be more helpful than beating around the bush.
Right. It's about efficiency, and sometimes that means making tough calls.
Okay, so this next part is where I really started to think, wait a minute. He talks about this idea of viewing problems from a higher vantage point. What's that all about?
It's about stepping back from the immediate situation. Like, imagine you're in the middle of a crisis at work. Your instinct is to react, right?
Yeah.
But he's saying, no, take a breath, zoom out, see the bigger picture.
So it's not just about solving the immediate problem. It's about understanding how it fits into the larger scheme of things.
Exactly. You're looking for the most strategic solution, not just the quickest fix.
And this is where he has that quote that kind of threw me off. Always position yourself at the center of your endeavors, justifying your decisions as needed. I mean, that sounds a bit egotistical, doesn't it?
It can sound that way, yeah, but I think what he's really getting at is taking ownership, being accountable for your choices, and being able to explain why you made them.
So it's more about being intentional and transparent, not just being power hungry.
Right. It's about having a clear vision and then being able to articulate that vision to others. And that requires a deep understanding of yourself and your motivations.
Okay, I can see that. But this next idea is where things got really wild for me. He says that everything, even stuff you don't own, can be a resource. How is that even possible?
Well, think about it this way. You might not own a specific company, but you can access their systems, networks, their expertise through partnerships, collaborations, even just observation.
Oh, I see. So it's about looking beyond just your immediate possessions and seeing the potential in everything around you.
Exactly. It's about being resourceful, creative, and open to unexpected opportunities.
And then he gives this super interesting example of money. He's not just talking about buying fancy cars or whatever. He's saying money can be a resource for personal growth and learning.
Yeah, it's about investing in yourself, using money to gain knowledge, access mentors, travel, expand your horizons.
Man, that really makes you think about how we often limit ourselves.
We do, and I think that ties into his point about breaking free from your background and taking risks.
Right, like don't let your past define you. Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone and go after what you want.
Exactly. Relentless pragmatism is about seizing those opportunities, even when they feel risky or unconventional. It's about pushing past those self-imposed boundaries.
So at the end of the day, it seems like this relentless pragmatism that Haverford talks about, it's not just about being ruthless or cutthroat. It's about being adaptable, driven, and really focused on results, even if it means challenging the status quo.
And maybe even getting a little uncomfortable along the way.
Yeah, for sure. But that discomfort can lead to some amazing growth.
Absolutely. So think about this. How can you apply this idea of relentless pragmatism in your own life? Where can you be a bit bolder, a bit more resourceful?
And what resources are you overlooking that could help you achieve those big, audacious goals?
Great questions.
And if you're ready to really dive into this whole winning mindset thing, be sure to check out Haverford's book. There's a link in the video description below. Until next time, stay curious, stay driven, and as always, keep those minds sharp.
And keep pushing those boundaries.
Absolutely.